Greetings, fellow stargazers. Welcome to the Night Blog.
The Night Blog.
The Night Blog.
I like that you say that.
There is a late night blog.
Uh-huh.
I believe it's run by Russians. We now outrank them in Google if you search Night Blog.
Well, now I'm scared.
They haven't updated for a couple of years, actually.
That's because they've been plotting on anyone else that tries to be the Night Blog.
Well, they're the late night blog.
Ah.
We are the Night Blog.
So it's almost like the Late Show and the Late Late Show.
Yeah,
the Tonight Show, the Late Show, the Late Late Show.
Yeah.
So we are the Night Blog.
We're the Night Blog.
They're
Kinda
the
like,
Late Night Blog.
They're the ones that come on after us.
Yeah.
But they're still before Carson Daly.
So they're Corden.
Yes. So they're still good.
So
they're the original Conan.
Oh. Well, good for them.
Yeah.
Watch, they're gonna explode and do really good, and then they'll be like.
I have not watched a single thing they've done. I remember we started the channel, looked up, does anybody have this?
Yeah.
And it was the late night blog, and they hadn't updated for a year.
Fair
at
enough.
That point, that was last year.
We're in the spoopy time of October.
Okay, Marty Sleva.
Back off. Okay, we're in this spooky. How about
I'm fine with
spookly?
it.
Do you remember us talking about spookly?
I do remember
Okay.
Spookly. But I'm okay with Spookly.
Oh, fine.
I like the guys at IGN. They're nice.
Oh, and spoopy was. Do you know where that came from? Right, we're in that a Dollar General. It was a sign that said spooky, but it said spoopy.
I did not see that.
Like someone actually bought it. It just said spoopy, and so that became
I just know that's always their reference that they do.
Yeah, so now it's become a thing.
I'm fine with that.
Good.
I'm fine with that.
That's
I like Marty
my
Sleva.
new Halloween moniker.
Spoopy.
Little spoopy Keebs.
Spoopy Keebs?
Spoopy Keebs.
Spoopy Bab.
So we want to talk
Bab.
about the spookiest games in our lives.
Our
favorite spooky games. Yeah.
Spooky games. It's a good way to describe them, too.
Yeah, spooky's good because we're not going to just talk about survival horror.
Or just scary and horror.
Yeah,
in
not
general.
just specifically making you scared or startled. But these are ones that resonated with us on a spooky level that we just recall either making us feel scared or tense. You know when you go on Netflix and you look under the horror genre, and a lot of those really aren't. One of them is like bank espionage, where it's just a teller.
My favorite
I can't withdraw that. Dun dun dun. Those fall under very vague categories.
Thriller or horror.
Uh-huh.
My favorite is because you watch this,
Uh-huh.
and there's movies like that makes sense. That makes sense. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's
whatsoever.
because you watch House of Cards, Pete's Dragon,
because you watched South Park, The Passion of the Christ showed up, or before we got married, my wife and I shared our Netflix.
Okay.
And it's months before we got married, and on there it said because you watch Law and Order SVU, which that's not my favorite Law and Order. My favorite's original Law and Order, but it showed up because of Law and Order. There's Cop Show, The Bernie Mac Show, Cop Show. Wait, what about?
I feel like
Bernie
there's been
Mac?
a statement made.
Yeah, that is somebody made a purposeful statement about the Bernie Mac show.
I wish you would have taken a screenshot and been like, "Now here's the real
I
white on
did.
black
It's
crime."
on Facebook.
Oh,
It's somewhere on Facebook. I'll have to pull it up.
okay.
I thought this. That's no. What does horrible sex crimes have to do with Bernie Mac?
I feel like there has to be some sort of vocal recognition that it just picks up and cross references, and they said the same word or something.
There's probably one episode that they say Law and Order SVU.
Most likely, yeah.
Kind of like Passion of the Christ comes from the fact they make fun of that movie in South Park at one point. Avidly.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start out. We'll go top 4.
Okay.
We'll start at number 4. You go first.
Number 4. Oh, I don't know. I didn't have these ordered.
No, that's
so this
too bad.
Isn't
Figure it out. So should I go first?
Luigi's Mansion. I'm putting it at number 4.
Okay.
It's not.
That's spoopy.
It's spoopy. I mean, it's the definition.
I was gonna say that is literally spoopy.
Spoopy.
Yeah.
It's not horror in the traditional sense. It's not at all scary. It's cute. It's
But I'd say
fun.
in the Nintendo verse, that is as horror.
Yeah.
As the
You even have the Game Boy Horror instead of the Game Boy Color is a little thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have a really good memory of playing that when the GameCube first came out. Because I didn't get it with the GameCube. I got it at launch.
Okay.
But I didn't get that game. I got Star Wars and
You had to get Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Squadron.
But I remember renting that over Thanksgiving weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And so Wednesday morning, after waking up, I was playing that while people are getting ready for Thanksgiving stuff for the next day. But I just remember it was a wonderful fall, cool morning.
Yeah.
I had the day off school. It was really relaxing. It was just very fun.
Yeah.
I'm having fun right now.
And I'd say the overall setting, the nuance, the overall feeling of it was along the spooky side.
Yeah.
For Luigi at least.
Yeah.
I mean, dude was scared out of his pants. So, no, I like that. That's a good choice. It's one I wouldn't have expected.
Yeah.
But I like it because I'd say in that realm of video games, that is as spooky as you're going to get. Because otherwise, in Mario 64, the Boo level, You get the piano that comes alive and
that actually scared me.
That's pretty creepy, know. And I feel like Luigi's Mansion did a really good job of expounding on that and making a really cool, kind of world. Okay, so my number 4 is Bloodborne.
Okay.
Now, Bloodborne isn't inherently a horror game, but it terrified me.
In multiple ways.
Yeah, because one, you're just afraid to fight anyone because they'll go in to kill you.
I'm afraid to fight anyone, period, in real life.
Well, horror, I would say my least favorite horror game is Life. But in this, you would see a group of guys and literally, you would just start feeling your heart going. Mm-hmm. And when you'd run into a boss you didn't know was going to be there, it was terrifying. And I remember just, being afraid to go around corners and run into certain guys. It had me so tense. I would sweat to the point, if I was wearing big shirts, I'd feel the drips, from my armpits. This game had me freaked out. But in a very different way. It's not the usual, nothing jumped out at you. Well, maybe once or twice. Yeah. But, you know what I mean? It was just scary to play. But it was not inherently a horror game. But, yeah, that's my number 4. I think for me, it belongs on there.
Okay. Now, these next 3...
Interchangeable?
Kind of. I would organize them differently when it comes to favorite games of all time. Let me just put it that way.
Sure.
But kind of spooky horror games, Last of Us.
Yeah.
Is on there.
Oh, man.
It's a zombie.
Clickers, man.
Clickers. Oh, trying to sneak up on them.
My gosh.
And if you made a noise, it just comes after you and rips your neck out and you're a clicker and just...
That game had me so nervous. Constantly.
I liked it.
Yeah. There was never that feeling of reprieve. You never got to just sit back and be like, Joel.
Well, there was one moment, the giraffe moment.
That was sweet. But even then, I expected something bad to happen.
I kind of did, but didn't at the same time, because then knowing story beats and there was a very narrative-driven game, I knew at that point that this is a story beat. Mm-hmm. Nothing's gonna suddenly pop out and ruin the sweet moment.
Yeah.
Like that, I kind of this is nice.
Yeah.
But it's also the story of that game and just
it's just
the characters. It just nails it all around.
Yeah.
It's great.
And it was scary on different levels. It was scary on the apocalypse level.
Yeah.
It was scary on just a personal, emotional level. Mm-hmm. And it was scary from a humanity level. It hit all of those, Walking Dead style.
Who are you really?
Yeah.
When stuff hits the
fan. And are you really a good person? Did you do the right thing? It really had created a lot of inner qualms,
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a good choice. I really like that game. Now, the same for me in these 3, because these are my favorite, scary games. We're just talking scary games. Yeah. So they're not my 3 favorite games by any means. But, so number 3 for me is going to be Silent Hill 2. That's a scary, scary game. So when you play, have you played any Silent Hill?
PT is the closest I've got.
Sure, okay, so PT even gives you a little bit. You remember when you would start to hear the radio static, and that means something's going to happen.
We probably played it last year.
Yeah. In Silent Hill, the radio static comes on when there's a monster nearby, and sometimes you'd hear it and you wouldn't see anything. And you go into a room and all of a sudden, Pyramid Head is standing in there. Pyramid...
It's like a weird, duckbill thing.
And he carries, a giant sword that he drags behind him, and he comes slow until he's chasing you, and then he's, tearing butt down the hall. So, this game would use things like sound and different environments to just scare the crap out of you. But there was also ways to get bad endings. So as you're playing through the game, you tried to be very careful about your decisions to try and get the right ending at the end of the game. But if you didn't get the right ending, bad things happen. But we got the right ending because we ended up just looking it up. Because I was afraid to get a bad ending. It's a terrifying game. The boss fights were so scary. Because you were always cornered and claustrophobic and just begging to just let me out. And you would hear the sirens go off. And, when we watched the movie Silent Hill, we'd hear the sirens. And my wife and I just wanted to crawl in a corner and be like, this is how the world ends. It's just a movie, but we're all going to die. It's okay. That's my number 3. Okay.
Funny with the Silent Hill is when we did the PT episode, remember we had an issue with the gameplay.
Yes.
And I had to re-record the gameplay later.
Mm-hmm.
The part with the phone rings. Yeah. I was home alone. And a phone started ringing in the house. It was an old-fashioned phone. It was my dad's cell phone upstairs.
Why?
Because he leaves his phone there.
Why?
Because that's my dad.
Dad.
But yeah, it was... And yeah. Anyway.
Well, I would have set the house on fire and said, God, it's yours now.
Thus belongs to you, Lord. Bioshock. This is actually one of my favorite games of all time.
It's a scary game.
I remember at one point, it wasn't even my first playthrough this happened. It was my second playthrough. I was I think it was in the medical pavilion area at the beginning of the game, and I'm rifling through stuff, and I turn around, and there's a splicer standing right behind me.
Yes.
And I just remember, I think they had my plasma, and I was like, and they instinctively shocked it. But it literally made me jump.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting that to happen.
Oh, my gosh.
And you guys are walking through Rapture, there's shadows, and just... You're expecting something, your little clicks of the spider slicers coming through, and then...
Splicer's the first time, man.
Oh, man. The moment when you first see the doctor.
Oh, my God.
The crazed plastic surgeon.
Yes.
I mean, I'm
terrifying.
I replayed that game just this past week. I
remember
love that game.
That scene especially gave me, like, chills. I was freaked out. But I remember the first time I looked down a hallway and saw Big Daddy. I was like, what? What is... And then when it started the fight, I was, like, terrified. Like, my heart was beating in all the way up into my throat.
Love that game.
As good as that game is just as like a first-person shooter in the world and the nuance, it's terrifying.
It is.
That's a scary game. So my number 2 is Eternal Darkness.
I remember that game.
On GameCube.
I remember my cousin rented it at like the trepidation of my aunt.
Yeah. Well, I remember like because it was still around the time of like Metal Gear Solid 2, where Psycho Mantis, made you do things to your PlayStation like to beat him. This would do things like you had a sanity meter, and as you played through the game, you started to become more and more insane.
And things would drip and
your TV would start doing stuff, but it wasn't really. But at the time, like everybody kind of had the same user interface on a TV, so the volume would turn down or the input would change, or it would turn off, like it would do the screen.
And so you really thought it was your TV.
And you thought things were really happening. You're like, no, or it would say like save, like when GameCube would be a save file corrupt, it would say that and stay up for like 10 seconds, and you would just like. And then it would just come back, and she would be like, and you're like, oh my God.
That's a wholly different type of horror.
Yes, but it turns from like this innocent like murder mystery into this full on almost I guess what is it? What are the movies with the Tom Hanks? With the book. Help me.
It's not You Got Mail, is it?
Yep, just like
the
You
Terminal?
Got Mail. No. Don't worry about it.
I don't know what you're talking about. The book?
What is, the book, Let's think about this.
The Green Mile?
No.
Well, we're kind of going long. I do.
That's right. We can cut this.
Fun fact: I do want to do a podcast at some point called Hanks on Hanks, where we just talk about Tom Hanks movies.
That's okay with
in
me.
order, and but neither of us are named Hank.
That's great.
And I hope to have the last one have Tom Hanks be on it.
And what is he's in it where it's like it's about like a almost like the Illuminati and like the church.
Road to perdition. Road to I don't know. Anyway,
that's right. Let me jump back.
Yeah, jump back.
So where it starts off as like an innocent murder mystery, it ends up being this huge conspiracy and almost like demonic and religious, and it goes back, your family goes all the way back to like Roman times, and you dealt with this first guy who became this immortal being, and he's been controlling everything that happens to your family for years and years and centuries, and you get to the point, and you've played through all of these families as you're going through this mansion, and everything is terrifying in its own right, and you never have a moment of peace, and you're always going insane, and it was so hard and so scary that it took us, I think, like a year to beat. And my friend and I like traded the controller because we'd just be done. Like it would just be so tense. We'd be like, your turn, I just can't, and walk away. But that's definitely my number 2. It's a great game.
That sounds like my number 1, Alien Isolation. I could only play that game for like 40 minutes at a time at first.
Yeah.
Because I'd have my headphones on, because I'd play it at night. It's the only time I had time to play it last year. I played it last year, not the year before when it actually came out.
Yeah, I played it I played it this year, actually.
And just hearing the alien crawling through the vents, and I was like, I just gotta get past this point.
Yeah.
Gotta save. All right, I'm done for the night. But also, it's the last game I played till 4 a.m. Because what I do, like, I'll play a game for like an hour at a time.
Yeah.
But once when I get to the climax, I'm like, I'm ready to be done.
Yep. You just gotta pile through.
At this point, I was like, I'm ready to get done. Like, I didn't find the scarier part was when it was just me and the alien.
Yeah.
Once when there was the other aliens in the next, I'm like, I'm not so scared anymore. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But the fact that there's only one, you don't know where he is.
It was terrifying.
And I'm just like.
And the audio was so well done.
Oh gosh, especially with the headphones.
Yes.
But actually, I think the androids scared me a little bit more.
The androids were terrifying. The way they would be like, "Is something wrong? Can I help you?"
Yeah,
and they'd
be like trying to kill you.
Yeah, please settle down.
Please settle down. Quack quack. It's like the scene from
You're having a bad dream
to the extreme. Yeah.
Well,
and then also when you pull your gun, you'd have that slight shake animation.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, it's so brilliant.
For me, it was when we got into the nest. In your DualShock, if you played on PlayStation 4, would start flashing like like lightning.
Yeah.
It made me so nervous because I was playing in my basement with the headphones on, and the room like lights up and the sound is going. Oh man, that game just messed me up.
For me, it was tense in the best possible way.
Yes, I agree. I was terrified like the whole game. My number one is very similar. Outlast. So it was that now in Alien you had weapons.
Yeah.
You could deter. In Outlast you have nothing. You have a camcorder. Yeah. And there were times where you would run into guys, especially the main dude with the chain. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. He would be everywhere, and you'd hear his chains. And you'd hear his chains like down the hall, and you had to just like make your way, but you had to go closer. And that's the worst thing is when you hear something and you're like, I gotta go that way. And I know he's there. It's like when you have to go to the bathroom at night and it's just dark. Like, but I have to get there to pee. It's just that game. And all you had to do was get somewhere to hide, but that didn't always guarantee that you're going to be safe. And so but all you could do is hide. You could run, but usually that's a really bad idea.
Yeah.
So that game, for the 4 or 5, maybe 6 hours the first time I played it, I could only do it for about an hour increment, like you were saying. Otherwise, I felt like I was going to hurt myself permanently.
Yeah. Like you're just going to have heart damage, permanent heart damage.
Like there's no way it felt like I was running miles and miles with how hard my heart was beating in that game. That's definitely my number one because it scared me so much and I memorized it because that was the only way to beat it. Man, what a good game. So while you guys are looking to do something over Halloween, try one of these scary games if you haven't yet. And if you have, go try another one. I heard Soma's really good.
Actually, that's on my list. I'm gonna play that.
I really want to play Soma.
There's another one. I downloaded it months ago on a flash sale. Among the Sleep.
Oh, I've heard that's good. That's the one where you play the kid, right?
You play as a toddler, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that sounds terrifying. Well, Happy Spoopy, everybody. Like and subscribe if you please. Have a great week. The thing that sucks about where I have to go to the bathroom at work is it's right outside my boss's office. And so if I have a loud one, it's real embarrassing. Real embarrassing.
Was constipated the other day, but very, very gassy.
Okay.
And it was loud. And I'd go into the bathroom because I couldn't tell. Every time I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to. Because just the nature of still slowly recovering of the last bit of the bottle surgery. There's times like, I don't know if this is a fart or if this is a poop. I really don't know. And so I would go in the bathroom.
Toe on the line, man.
And I was going to the bathroom every 20 minutes just to make sure because I just couldn't tell.
Yeah.
And it would just be this little, it was a butt trumpet in there. Like I'd sit down, it would echo through the bowl and through the entire little bathroom area of this little office.
You're like first seat of the orchestra.
Yes.
For butt trumpet.
I was first chair soloist butt trumpet for the orchestra.